For this week's Spooktober, we're going everything aliens and extraterrestrials. You guys might know that there has been so many UFO sightings, especially recently, and having the official Congress all over the world talk about UFOs. From the Mexico Congress to the US Congress to the recent Vegas alien encounter, and a hidden story from Italy where a woman claims that she has been from the gray alien since she was 4 years old and that she gave birth to hybrid aliens about 20 times now. We've got photos and video footages for today's video, so get your seatbelts, get your tea, get your popcorn. And I don't know if it's the topics, but my channel has been hit hard with the algorithm. I don't know what it is. People are not getting my notifications, so it really means a lot if you guys can just subscribe, commenting, engaging in these videos, sharing really all helps. Thumbs up, and if you guys appreciate these videos, one way to support is using the super chats. I spend every day trying to research and write the scripts for these videos, editing. I do it all on my own. I have zero help, so it means so much if you guys show some support on GRAZY TV. If you guys have been following my channel for a while now, you guys know I've interviewed people who have talked to extraterrestrials, allegedly have connections with ETs. I interviewed Gina. She was an alien expert. She had this crazy knowledge. She claims that the extraterrestrials she worked with have been giving her knowledge since she was young as well. Now, unfortunately, she did pass away, and I can't really ask her much questions anymore, of course. And I personally say there's no way that we're the only ones living here as the advanced humanoids. I do believe there's life out there and that they live among us. Now, the alien story, at least in America, also has been crazy. The story in Vegas blew up. Now, very recently in Las Vegas, a family called 911 claiming that there were 8 to 10 feet large beings with shiny big eyes in their backyard.
We were working and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down it was like a big impact and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Now, right before their call or during their call, this crazy flash of light happened in that town as well. Now, this witness claimed that there was loud bang and almost like a shockwave that came to him. And crazy, when they went outside, opened their doors to their backyard, they say that this area of where they believe the crash happened, their vision became blurry, almost like a advanced camouflage technology that was happening.
So to say, when I tried to look at the object, it was all blurry, not my vision, but only the backyard area. And I hear thousands of footsteps around me, and maybe a couple seconds later the blurriness was gone.
And police confirmed that this was not a hoax call. Now, it is really interesting because this does tell me that even with advanced technology, like, things happen. Like, crashes happen. So I guess nothing is perfect. Even with the most advanced technology, I guess spaceships sometimes crash. Now, when I went to Vegas, we went near Area 51. Obviously, that area is restricted, but because it's such a hot tourist place sometimes, there's this whole like alien themed cafe. And we went there, and I'm telling you guys, the vibe and some of the people that were there were so odd. The energy was just so different. While researching that, I found a story from Italy, a woman claiming that she was a mother to hybrid gray alien beings. Now, I have my own 2 cents on this story, but I want to give you all the facts first, so just be patient. Now, this story, I cannot find any English sources. I don't know why. No YouTubers have covered this in English, but it is a pretty popular story in Italy and Korea as well. Like, I've seen Korean YouTubers cover this. Now, this is Giovanna Pota. She is Italian, and the basic story is that ever since she was 4 years old, she has been in contact with specifically gray aliens, and they would her or bring her on the spaceship and kind of like give a tour around their spaceships and where they were going. And she claims that she's been into Antarctica a lot through these spaceships because that is where they currently reside, including the moon. Giovanna claims that she wanted to come forward even though she was going to be called crazy because she knows that this happens to other people and she wants other people to disclose their encounters. Now, after she became of a certain age, she claims that now the gray beings started to pregnate her and started to use her to make gray alien hybrid babies. And she claims that throughout the whole entire years, I believe she's about almost 50 now, she had about 18 to 20 successful hybrid alien babies. There's about up to 100 times that they tried this on her. Now, when asked, like, why are aliens using a human body to do this, this is how she explained it. She claims that the particular aliens that she worked with, the gray aliens, they do not know emotions. They need her because they cannot reproduce themselves. The gray beings explained to her that because they do these kind of like crazy travels throughout time and distances through the space, they were exposed to so much radiation throughout, their lifetimes that their body no longer can reproduce. Another interesting, she says that these gray beings have no human concept of right and wrong. They ask her, what are emotions? What are feelings? What are the tears that you have rolling down on your face? Like they literally have zero capabilities of love and pain as well. And that they were very curious to learn from human beings. She also says that she would meet 4 different clones of her, that the gray beings cloned her. And she got to meet them, or I don't know if she just saw them from a distance, and she says that they were 4 different ages from 20s to 30s. Throughout the years, she would also photograph very odd things that happened to her body, including this, some kind of implant or some kind of mark that they left on her body that she documented. There's also an alleged MRI photo of some kind of a chip that's inserted in her brain. Now, this photo has never been actually confirmed. We don't know if she still has this chip or not. She also documented these fluorescent lights that would frequently pop up all over her body, and they would glow in the dark. And she claims that these are like materials that they use in order to make them, the gray aliens, safe from human contaminations, diseases, things like that. But the part where her story in the documentary blew up was when she showed an actual hybrid alien corpse in the documentary. But there were times when her pregnancy actually failed because this time a 3-meter gray being, she would call them very ugly as well, they would try to impregnate her and it wasn't compatible with them. So the humanoids, us humans, and 3-meter gray alien beings, they're not compatible. And that's one of the reasons why these pregnancies sometimes would fail. And allegedly, these are the ultrasounds that she took at the doctors. Now, the video only starts when they are looking into this baby. There is no actual video of her getting the procedure done. So again, that's a little questionable. Apparently, this hybrid alien is about 30 centimeters long. It has 3 fingers and 4 toes. Now, to me and a lot of skeptics, this creature, hybrid being, doesn't really look like the usual half humanoid, half gray alien that you would think of it. Because it looks more reptilian, and the way the eyes are shaped, the way that the arms and the legs are positioned, it seemed more like a 4-legged animal rather than a humanoid being. And some people who are allegedly animal experts also confirm this as well. They say that according to the pictures and the way that the legs and the arms and the anatomy is positioned, there's no way this was a 2-legged humanoid or an animal, meaning like they don't stand on 2 legs. This animal had to have 4 legs, kind of like a rabbit, kind of like a lizard. I don't know, it kind of looks like a lizard to me. And allegedly they're documenting her after effects of everything that she went through, abdominal pains, her being under stress, and things like that. Now, when asked, like, if this happened to you since you were a teenager, I mean, your father probably saw you pregnant. Like, how did you conceal this from your family and friends? Giovanna claims that, well, this baby does not take 9 months, and they don't take the baby out after all that time. What they would do is only have her be pregnant for 2 months. And after 2 months, they would have the procedure to take the baby out. I'm talking about the gray beings. And she believes after 2 months, it is taken out to an artificial womb where the gray beings now grow this hybrid being. A little more detailed, she doesn't actually remember the actual procedures really happening. She claims that her memory is kind of wiped out from the actual procedures, but she does remember being tied to a metal bed or a chair every time. She also also says that these lights that they put on her kind of seems to paralyze her. Some more details that she said throughout the interview, she claims that these hybrid children also do not have emotions or feelings, or at least the alien beings do not want them to have emotions or feelings. And that's one of the reasons why they won't let Giovanna see these kids. But it's a little weird because the aliens were also interested in what is pain. So wasn't their original plan to also want them to reproduce and want them to have emotions and feelings? She also says, unlike humans, they do not call each other by names and that they talk telepathically. And if she would think about something, the aliens already answered them because they knew what she was thinking. Now, these are writings from Giovanna. Giovanna's husband claims when they were sleeping, Giovanna all of a sudden was speaking in an odd language. Almost like she was possessed or was sleep talking or sleepwalking. She would get up and write all these things. And you could see it's clearly in a strange, odd language, almost like a hieroglyphic from the ancient Egyptian times. Now, Giovanna claims that a lot of these times it would be more like telepathically, or it's more like a conscious thing. Like they would borrow her consciousness and their consciousness would go up instead of her whole entire physical body. And in that moment, she was talking to these ancient alien beings, giving her all these knowledge. Which is interesting because even if that was true, it's like, damn, why'd you make me write all this down just to not decipher it or know what this is for? But again, aliens aren't perfect. Maybe they thought that we would understand, but we don't. She also went to Japan to film a whole documentary or show about her encounters. In this show, she went under hypnosis and even a lie detector test. She went under hypnosis so that she can remember the memories that's been erased. Now, when referring to these gray aliens, she says they're like children size. You really stink, and she does these motions to tell them to go away because it hurts whatever they're doing to her. Now, I don't know much about hypnosis, but I did do past life hypnosis recently, which I'm gonna make a video about it. But from what I know, in hypnosis sessions, you don't actually act out the entire thing. It's usually not that dramatic, but with Giovanna and this Japanese show, to me, it seemed very dramatic the way she was presenting this whole hypnosis thing. And then after this hypnosis, she lifts her shirt up and apparently this fluorescent light just appeared. When they tested the sample, they found out that the substance was zinc sulfide, which is used in, I guess, some glow-in-the-dark products and sometimes watches, clocks, and things like that. Now, from one of the sources though, I did find out that this documentary that she was on in Italy was more of a fake docu. This was a thing like in the 90s and early 2000s globally, even in South Korea, where they would have fake documentaries that were based on true stories. Now, in our generation that we live now today, it's all about real documentation, real footages, but this was actually a popular thing back then. They do claim that these stories are based on true stories, but do have to act a lot of these things out in order to entice the audience. So in my personal opinion, I do believe a lot of the things that they showed as evidence, including the corpse, was fake. Although I do believe that Giovanna really believes this happened to her. In the most recent interview that she did with an Italian influencer, she did say that she did not really want to go on this documentary, but that she did sign a contract with them. And it was supposed to be only one episode, but they did find this whole information about her and wanted her to keep going on the show. And that to leave the contract in the show, it would cost her a lot of money because she would be breaking the contract. The interview is in Italian language, so I did not understand everything. So if you're Italian and if you can kind of translate for us the whole thing, that would be nice. In Italy, she is deemed as this crazy lady, a scam artist, but she claims that till this day, everything she said was true. She also says that she actually lost her job after doing the documentary, now that everybody knew her face. After the documentary, when she would go to stores, shops, just to get something simple, people would kick her out of stores because they saw her as this crazy lady. So my little 2 cents are that I do believe that Giovanna really believes that this did happen to her. And a lot of the information that she gave about aliens does match up with other alien encounters, people who have come forward. But because of how these documentaries exploited these stories and put like fake weird corpse and evidences that seemed kind of unbelievable, I think that really discredited these people and especially Giovanna's story. But her story is not really unique. This happened all over the world, especially in America. Multiple people came forward claiming that they also had similar encounters. This is one American man. He claims that since he was a young man, specifically a praying mantis humanoids would borrow his sperm, his DNA, to create half humanoid alien babies. Now, this is very similar to what my friend Gina that I interviewed said. She was an alien expert, what I call it. She especially had a deep connection with praying mantis beings. Now, according to my friend Gina and other people that I've talked to that allegedly have encounters with extraterrestrials, they claim that there's advanced being forms of every single animal, plants, insects you could imagine. So there's advanced praying mantis beings, there's advanced bees, but the ones that are most talked about among us humans are the reptilians. And Giovanna and many other also claim that reptilians have the ability to shapeshift, kind of like X-Man, and they apparently live among us, and a lot of them are up in the higher positions. Just saying. And they have these crazy technologies to like make the human eyes and brain not be able to catch them, because they're able to create some kind of illusion to make us humans not be able to see them. Kind of like the Vegas guy. He says that there was some crazy technology that made these aliens blurry and you couldn't see them. Okay, now let's go into the Mexico UFO briefing that happened recently. The Mexico Congress unveiled mummified aliens that were apparently found in Peru, and experts claim that they're old as 1,000 to 1,800 years old. And the Mexican scientists in this video conducted 3 studies and x-rays and other scans that prove that these are real alien beings that has been fossilized or mummified for a very long time, even claiming that one of them was a female and it was pregnant with eggs. And they have 3 fingers, kind of like what Giovanna said with the gray aliens. Now, rather this is fake or real, I do think that this whole topic is being taken more seriously. Jamie Masson, a journalist and a UFO researcher, said, quote, "This is the first time ET life is presented in such a form, and I think there's a clear demonstration that we are dealing with non-human specimens that are not related to any other species in our world, and that any scientific institutions should investigate it." The scientists also confirmed that it looks like it's all in one piece and sees bones. This was literally shown on TV for everybody to see and Congress to see, but here are my 2 cents. Now, I personally do again believe that ETs are out there and they do live among us, but regarding these Mexico aliens, I have a feeling that these specific beings that they showed is a decoy or it's a fake. Like, I believe that they did really find something but are testing the waters. And I don't think that they will put out this precious alien corpse just out there for people to come and steal or try to be too interested in it. Like, I think they're testing the waters and maybe do have a real corpse behind the scenes, but these, I'm sorry, look really fake. Because to me, it doesn't look mummified. It looks literally like a clay statue or a little miniature figure that somebody made, because look at these like dirt apparently that was found with it. It literally looks like somebody sprinkled it on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? It just looks too well done, if that makes sense. And I think we've all seen like mummified like ancient Egyptian beings or animals that's been fossilized for thousands of years. They don't look like this. Also, the eyes and the mouth, it just doesn't seem like the bone structure. It doesn't seem, I don't know, it just doesn't look real to me. And I think it's funny how the scientists are literally holding it, but like it's such a precious thing and already some of the fingers are chopped off and they're literally like holding it like it's a doll. Like, it's so fragile and precious. Like, this is an alien first being that you found, and I just don't know why they're holding it like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling that they have the real one in the back. So that was a lot of things we covered. Let me know what you guys think about the whole alien topic and what is going on in the world today. Are we even surprised anymore? And if you have any encounters with aliens, maybe you had dreams about certain aliens or things coming to you, leave a comment down below and see you guys on my next video.